At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Kruger. Hope you're enjoying your Monday morning, and you are going to enjoy your Monday as well. Why is that? Well, because we're going to be looking at cooler temperatures. And on top of that, with the cooler temperatures, our humidities tend to go up. And from there, we're talking about lower fire danger. So this is great. And anytime we're talking about lower fire danger this time of the year, I think anyone can be pretty happy out there. We've got Terry Amber Lou saying good Monday morning to everyone. So I'm so glad that you got able to chime in this morning. You may notice something a little different this morning. Why am I not in my studio? Well, that's because I had a family obligation to attend to, just some personal things I needed to attend to. I have family here in Texas. So I'm in Central Texas. I'm staying with my sister here in Central Texas, and I have made a makeshift studio in her game room. So I want to thank her for allowing me to kind of invade in her space this morning, get access to her internet, and of course, broadcast you live from her game room here in Central Texas. Let me tell you something. When we talk about humidity, this is a prime example of what humidity is all about. You walk outside, you can feel that humidity. When I got off the airplane, I stepped out onto that tarmac, and wow, you can definitely feel that difference. So when we talk about more humid conditions in Northern California, it's nothing compared to what they experience in the southern United States, in Texas, Louisiana, right, the deep south, all of that. So just kind of a quick reminder here. All right, let's get to the forecast here real quickly. Here we're going to take a look at Kruger's Quickcast. Just kind of a quick reminder of what Kruger's Quickcast is. I do the Kruger's Quickcast during the 6 o'clock morning show, also for the 6 o'clock evening show as well. And I do it here on Coffee with Kruger. Now, the main reason for that is I'm known for going into a lot of detail on the forecast, and it can take a while. But for those of you who may not have a lot of time, you're maybe in a bit of a hurry, you can watch Kruger's Quickcast and you can find out what's going on in just a matter of a couple of minutes. So let's get you right to it and take a look at your Quickcast here for your Monday, August 12th. Temperatures this Monday morning. Yeah, I mean, certainly more pleasant, right around 70 in Redding, but even more pleasant for many of us in the valley, mid-60s, around 66 degrees in Chico. We're talking 40s and 50s for the higher elevations and mid-50s for the coast. There you can see that visibility is looking pretty good, although we are seeing some of those clouds. Let's take a look at that here. Take a kind of a more widescreen view of that. That is looking out at this is Crescent City in the Harbor District Cam. You can see some of the low clouds, but really not much in the way of fog out there this morning. So that certainly is probably a welcome sight for those of you that live on the coast here. I don't have my elk cam, country cam, but I do have a look at your visibility. And even Hoopa, looking at some of that lower visibility out there as well. So out the door this morning for your August 12th, yeah, temperature should be somewhere in the upper 60s to even some low 70s in the valley, just depending on where you are. A little hazy for Trinity County, Siskiyou County, still some of the low clouds and mostly cloudy for the coast. And then temperatures for Modoc County, the Eastern Mountains, should be somewhere in the upper 50s to low 60s. So the smoke, most of the smoke here will be from the Boise fire and from the Park fire, and really even most of the smoke in Boise fire. And that's going to produce some smoke in northern Trinity County and western Siskiyou County as well. We take a look at Futurecast for today. And, you know, this morning, if you watch the 6 o'clock morning forecast, Futurecast was a little bit more aggressive with the potential for showers and thunderstorms here, especially for Siskiyou and Modoc counties here. Backed off here in the latest forecast model run, but I'm still keeping a chance for maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm in northern Trinity County this afternoon, Siskiyou County, especially central and eastern Siskiyou County, and northwestern Modoc County. Otherwise, it doesn't look like it's going to be that much activity. There's just not a lot of moisture for the system to really work with. And by tonight, that's all pretty much out of here. So we take a look at our forecast for today. Look at this. I mean, it's hard to believe that 91 degrees is actually pleasant for this time of the year, but it is. Instead of the triple digits that we've seen for quite a while. Upper 80s to around 90 in the valley. There is that chance for thunderstorms, especially in Siskiyou County and in Modoc County as well. We take a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley, and really we are going to see a slight increase in our temperatures as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday. But it won't be that bad, still below normal, and then temperatures start to drop again. And even Redding could drop down to the upper 80s by this upcoming Saturday. We take a look at your coast forecast, and you can see low to mid 60s for your daytime highs there. Mostly cloudy skies. Inland, we're talking about just some sunny skies here, but maybe a few clouds later on in the week. And for Weaverville, there's that chance, especially Weaverville northward, south of Weaverville, most likely looking at those dry conditions. Now, what you'll notice again, I put that chance for thunderstorms for Mount Shasta and El Tourist. Quite honestly, those chances are pretty slim. But should you get caught under a thunderstorm, I don't want you to be surprised. That being said, you'll notice I've got dry conditions for the next 7 days. We could be looking at the potential for maybe a little bit of activity here once again by the middle and latter part of the week. But I'm going to wait for a little bit more consistency in the long-range forecast models before we really kind of get into that. I do want to remind you that you can share your photos from the free Weather NorCal app. You know, there was the Perseid meteor shower last night and early this morning. You might be able to catch them again here tonight. But also, kind of a little surprise visit from the Aurora Borealis. I actually had someone who sent me via, and I didn't get a chance to really get it into my computer system. But you know what? I might be able to show you. Let's see if we can find it. Let's do this. We're going to go into, and he was actually able to capture the Aurora Borealis. So I'm going to go into the messages here. He sent it to me through the messages. And let me see if that kind of pops up here. Does not, because I think he sent it to, let me try something else here. Give me just 1 second, folks. We'll work on this. We'll get you going. We'll take a look at it. He may have done it through this. Let's take a look. Yep, there it is. So I'm going to see if I can get this loaded up. Maybe back up to the top here. Well, shoot, folks. Wouldn't you know? I was looking at it this morning, but it doesn't seem to be here. Well, darn. Isn't that a bummer? Let me see if it was in my phone. We'll take a look at that here real quickly. And maybe, if I'm lucky, we might be able to see it from there. But I don't think so. Yeah, it's here. It's showing on my phone. Let's see if I can. There it is. So you see that? You can kind of see it. And not the best view. But this was down south, kind of in the Gridley area. And he was looking at the Perseid meteor shower, and you can see that he's actually able to capture the Aurora Borealis. Yeah, how cool is that? The northern lights came this far south again. It looks like we had some more activity here that created that. So again, I want to remind you, as we look on the screen here, share your photos from the free Weather NorCal app, because this is going to be the best location for you to see, and that's what makes it difficult. See, if Justin, who sent me this picture, had sent it through the Weather NorCal app, then I could have very easily put it in my weather computer system and I could have shown you full screen. It would have been beautiful, it would have been gorgeous. So just kind of a lesson there, right? You can share photos via instant message, from Facebook, or even email them, but I do want to remind you that it's a lot more difficult for me to get that into my system, especially when I'm working remotely like this. It's difficult to do that. So just wanted to kind of give you a quick reminder to do that. Let's check in with everybody. See how you're doing this morning. I'm just going to kind of leave it on this here as I kind of check in with everybody. And yeah, it's just a little bit more tricky when I'm doing it. And I'm looking up because I have a big screen that's above right here that I'm looking. That's why I'm looking up here. Kind of like actually my studio, right? So we had Terry Ann, we had Terry Murray Holman saying good morning and have a wonderful day. Good morning from TMC Weather MD. Nice. Rachel Maxey saying good morning. Well, so glad you could join us this morning. We got Justin Billing. We got Terry Amber Lou. We've got Mary MacFrame. A lot of my regulars coming in this morning. Tom Frazier, good morning to everybody. Stephen Koch. We've got Elaine Gerard McCullough. Again, I should just stick with your first names, right? Catherine, good smoke-free morning. You gotta love that, right? Rebecca Lynn, happy Monday, 62 degrees in paradise. Yes, I'll take this for the rest of August. Well, maybe, but I do expect a little bit of a warm-up by the end of the week. You'll see that in the more detailed forecast. Norman saying the best, most complete, accurate weather report always. Thank you. How about the winds today and through the week? Well, we're going to take a closer look at those winds and what we expect. I'm a little concerned about the winds here as we go through this week, but again, we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail. Mommykins also saying, I'm looking forward to the cooler weather coming in from YouTube. Well, thank you so much for watching from YouTube. By the way, if you are watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, know that you can watch this on your big screen TV. So for example, Mommykins, do you have a big screen TV with YouTube? Well, you can watch Weather NorCal and the live broadcast from YouTube on your big screen TV. But if you have a Roku or an Amazon Fire Stick, I've got an app, a Weather NorCal app that you can download. You can always watch the 24-hour streaming channel, whether I'm broadcasting live on Coffee with Kruger or we're just the 24-hour streaming channel in general. The programming is on there as well. And it's a great resource. You should be sure to check that out. So again, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, or if you have YouTube on your smart TV, you can watch Weather NorCal on your smart TV via YouTube. It's really cool. We got Rowdy Kelly saying breaking low clouds in Fortuna this morning. Yeah, we're certainly seeing some of the fog and clouds this morning, but I do think we'll actually get to see some of those clouds begin to break up. We'll tell you what, let's get you to, why is it so tricky? Here we go. Let's get you to the longer range forecast. Oh, you know, we're not going to get to that. We're going to do the fires first. So I'm going to get into the fires. This is the latest fire perimeter coming in from the Park Fire at 429,188 acres, 38% containment. Now, let's take a look at that same map, and we're going to put the latest heat signatures coming in. Now, this is good to see. This is phenomenal, folks. Take a look at the one little red dot that we do have just to the east of Mineral. That is the most recent activity that we've seen from the fire over the last 6 hours or so. The oranges and yellows is the last couple of days, and if you get in the grays, 5, 6, even 7 days old. So this is really good to see that we haven't seen much in the way of heat signatures coming from the Park Fire. Now, there's a look at the latest fire perimeter and the heat signature, so it's not even outside of the fire perimeter. That is also great to see. Let's take a look from the perspective of all the highways and Mill Creek. So when I was reporting on this last Friday, it was the same perimeter around Mill Creek. It hasn't moved any closer to Mill Creek. Now we have seen it kind of fill in to the east side of Highway 172 and south of 189, south of Childs Meadows. But keep in mind, they've been doing a lot of firing operations in that area. And you can also see to the east of Mineral is where we're seeing the bulk of that activity as well. So it's stayed to the south of 36 and not to mention Highway 89. So that's awesome. All right. Now let's take you out to the Hill Fire, 7,224 acres. That hasn't grown in size, but what has grown is the containment at 98% contained. We take you out to the Boise Fire, 1,621 acres at 0% containment. Now, a lot of you who live in Redding, and I am really bummed out that I was not here in my studio for the lower fire that had developed over the weekend, right? I think it was on Saturday, and I was kind of watching it develop, and just kind of bummed me out that I couldn't be there for you all. I did the best that I could in some of the social media posts that I did. But let's take you to Watch Duty, and there's the look at the lower fire. So, you know, at one point we did have those evacuation orders, right? Those were downgraded yesterday to evacuation warnings. So what we're looking at right now at the lower fire is 110 acres at 80% containment. So I think many of us were able to dodge a bullet. I don't know of any, we'll probably find out. We'll probably start getting reports. But hopefully we can really hope that there weren't any damaged or burned down homes. Let's hope for the best, right? But you can see still some evacuation warnings out there because, again, it's not fully contained. We've got that 80% containment. But I haven't seen the acreage grow, folks, over the last 24 hours. It's pretty much been consistent at 110 acres. But I've seen improvement in the containment since this morning. It was at 70%. Now it's at 80%. So great news to see that we are seeing those improvements there. So I couldn't get, the fire perimeter is not available from the source that I get to put in my weather computer. So that's why I'm not able to show you. But let's zoom it in here tighter and just kind of show you where the main fire was. So it started to the south of Highway 299, Eureka Way, and ended up, was it Lower Springs Road? It started on Lower Springs Road, just south, not too far from Highway 299. Then it kind of spread to the north and west, and then it kind of hopped over 299 and made its way up into parts of Bakers Hill Road. And what is that road right there? Kind of hard to, I'm not exactly sure. I think that might even be a private drive. I'm not sure. But that did make its way up to Middle Creek Trail and to the Middle Creek Road as well. And that's where it stops, folks. Now, when we look at this, I'm going to zoom it in here really tight. We look at this, unfortunately, it looks like there is a structure there. It looks like there's a structure right there. Hopefully they were able to save that home. Again, one thing you have to remember, anytime we're looking at these fire perimeters, even if your home is within the fire perimeter, it doesn't mean it burned down, because they do everything they can to protect homes when the fires go through. So that does not mean if there's a structure in there or a home or whatever, that doesn't mean it burned down. That doesn't mean there was even any damage. So again, the firefighters do an amazing job even when those fires are kind of moving through and past these different structures and homes. But it looks like for the most part, there were not a lot of structures within the path of this fire perimeter. So that's good to see, and that's good to know. But I'm sure, yes, I'm sure it hit home way too closely for many of you. And, you know, that's just, again, that's why I was just so bummed that I wasn't there for you all. Oh, good morning, Kenny. Just kind of saw your comment up there. How you doing this morning? Good to see you. We had a good ag report. Check it out, Kenny. Tell your friends. Sadie and I did a great report out at Serendipity Ranch. And it was just the two of us. We had a great fun time talking about all the great things at Serendipity Ranch, so be sure to check that out. All right, let's take a look at now, I think we're done with the fires. I think we are done with the fires. Let's just kind of double check. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you here with the Boise fire. Again, the Boise fire hasn't grown in size much either, even though we're not seeing any new containment, but it is, just kind of give you an idea, about 3.5 miles from Orleans. All right, so be sure to check that out. All right, thumbs up. Glad you heard that message. Let's see if there's any other comments or questions about the fires here. I'm gonna go in here. Got from MacArthur. Nope, doesn't look like there is. So it looks like I'm covering the fires to everyone's liking, and we are good to go. But again, you can kind of see, and if we kind of just zoom out, you kind of see, first of all, I mean, it's not a very large fire, but fire nonetheless, and we do need to keep a close eye on it. All right, let's go ahead and now kind of finish up on that. Again, I'm kind of just double checking to make sure everybody's up to speed here. We are now going to get you into the deeper dive forecast. We're going to make this a little shorter than usual, but you know, overall, I'm still able to give you all the information that you need. Of course, as you know, Coffee with Kruger and really Weather NorCal is just not possible without our sponsors. So we always need to mention our sponsors, especially our segment sponsors. Here, of course, the Coffee with Kruger segment, all of Coffee with Kruger is made possible by Wind River Resort and Casino. So we want to thank them for their support from day one of Coffee with Kruger and, of course, up to this point as well. All right, let's go ahead and again remind you that you can share your photos. Did you see the Aurora Borealis this morning? Did you get any pictures of Perseid meteor shower? Share them from the free Weather NorCal app, and we will share them with you as well. And everyone else can check it out. All right, let's go and take a look at our current conditions out there right now. And you can see, yeah, we're talking mid-60s on average for the valley right now, and in the 40s and 50s for the higher elevation. So we look at our weather headlines. The cooler weather has arrived. Ah, that sounds so good to say. I mean, I've been saying the cooler weather is going to arrive next week for the last week, but now it's finally here. So that's really exciting. Got a chance for isolated mountain thunderstorms. We're keeping highs below normal into the weekend, but I am watching the potential for some stronger winds, especially later in the week. And we're going to take a closer look at that in a second. But right now, the winds, not that much of a concern, not that much of an issue. Look at this. This afternoon, I am a little concerned. You can see those winds really picking up from the south. So with the clear skies and the winds, this could create a problem over the park fire. We'll see. Again, higher relative humidity and lower temperatures is going to be really something that's going to help the firefighters. But if we really bump up those winds, that could create a problem. So we'll see what happens. But just be aware of the fact that the winds are picking up even in the vicinity of the park fire. As we go into tomorrow, the wind's probably not as strong. It's just the eastern mountains. We've got some of those winds. And also, it looks like some elevated winds here on the west-northwest side of the valley here for Wednesday afternoon. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that as well. All right, let's take a look at the humidity levels. And again, you see how we're not at the single digits anymore for the valley. So 21% humidity near the fire. Oh man, that is just great to see. That's still low, by the way. You have to remember that. But at least it's not the single digits. Now we are going to see some slightly lower humidity levels for your Tuesday and Wednesday in particular. So that may elevate that fire danger as we go into the next few days. But the smoke, the primary smoke producer today is going to be the Boise fire, but we are seeing some smoke coming in from the northeast side of the park fire as well. And as we go into tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, I think it's going to be pretty much a rinse and repeat type of situation where the smoke is going to be impacting most of the same locations. So we look at the satellite, we can see a little bit of an area of low pressure spinning over the Gulf of Alaska. That is what's going to be impacting our weather, even as early as today. So if you watched again the morning forecast, it was a little bit more aggressive with the thunderstorm possibilities in Siskiyou County and Modoc County, and even northern portions of Trinity County. It's backed off on that. And the reason for it is there's just not a lot of moisture for these afternoon thunderstorms to work with. So I think the chances are still there. It just won't be very widespread. It'll be few and far between. And then I don't expect any thunderstorms on Tuesday, just some added cloud cover to the north. And then Wednesday looks like some more afternoon cumulus clouds. This is when we could reintroduce maybe some chances for more mountain thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon and maybe Thursday. But I'm keeping it out of the forecast for now until I start seeing a little bit more consistency. But overall, looking at the long range, I just don't see the monsoon moisture coming our way. I don't see any more mountain thunderstorms, but I do see the temperature staying below normal. Now look at the area of low pressure over Canada. That low pressure system is going to be diving southward to our north and west by Thursday and Friday. This is going to allow our temperatures to drop even more. But what I'm concerned about, and this is what I was talking about, we're going to be in a bit of a squeeze play between that low to our north and west and that high over the desert southwest. This is the classic setup for some strong southwest winds. Now, the good part of this is they're from the southwest, which means it's coming off the ocean. There'll be more moisture associated with these winds, so humidity levels won't drop as low. However, winds, it doesn't matter which direction they're coming from, folks. If there's a fire burning, like the park fire, the hill fire, the Boise fire, for example, right? All of those fires. If there's a fire burning, it doesn't matter which direction they're blowing from. That is adding fuel to the fire. That's adding oxygen to the fire. When the fire has more oxygen, it burns better. It burns more healthy for itself. And that's not what we want to see. So this is a pattern we're going to have to watch here very closely. That may continue into Saturday, but I do expect that as that low pressure system kind of starts to migrate back to the north, we'll see those winds relax as we go into Sunday and into early next week. Take a look at the Climate Prediction Center. Cooler than normal temperatures are in the forecast for the long range, but look at this. Here's your 7-day outlook, or 10-day trend that is. See, temperatures going up a little bit by Wednesday, but then they drop again. Upper 80s, low 90s for Saturday, Sunday, and then they'll start to go back up again by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but most likely staying below normal. That's fantastic. I love talking about that. I love staying below normal for the next 10 days. All right, there's a look at our wave heights as we go into this afternoon. We take a look at our wave heights for your Tuesday. And not much change there. fact, we take a look at a marine forecast for your Monday. Northwest winds at about 5 to 10 knots, waves from the northwest at 5 feet at 7 seconds. There could be that patchy morning fog, but some of that should burn off here. All right, so here's your detailed neighborhood forecast for Trinity County. Now, I've included a chance on Monday. Don't count on it. Most likely you'll be dry in Weaverville today. Most likely all of Trinity County will be dry. But again, we can't rule out that chance. Let's take you off to the north coast, and you can see 75 from Miranda, 67 degrees for Red Crest. Temperatures dropping down the upper 70s and low 80s for Thursday, Friday. Here's your north coast neighborhood forecast. And Fortuna, Hydesville, Rio Dell, low 60s, and it looks like it's a little bit warmer, mid 60s by Wednesday, Thursday. McKinleyville, 62, 62 in Eureka, but warmer, but still not that bad inland, with temperatures there in the low to mid 80s. We take you up north, Smith River, 64, 62 for Oric, and Orleans about 84 degrees. Maybe a slight chance for a thunderstorm there, but again, I think most of it will be to the north and east, especially in Siskiyou County. So I'm including a chance for some isolated thunderstorms, maybe even in Scott Valley, but it's, like I said, few and far between. So don't look at this and go, oh my gosh, Fort Jones, Greenview, Etna, Callahan, all seeing thunderstorms. No, that will not happen. But all of these places have that chance. And that's the same story for the eastern Siskiyou County area as well. Now, again, I don't have any thunderstorms after today, but that may change. It's one of those stay tuned type of forecasts because we are certainly monitoring the weather pattern to see if we have the potential for more thunderstorms. As of right now, there's a potential in some areas, but for now, I'm going to keep it out of the forecast. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, generally in the 70s and 80s for those daytime highs. Chester about 83, 79 degrees for Westwood, but for the park, 67 degrees for Summit Lake. All right, take you out to Mineral, 78 degrees, 83 degrees for Greenville and Portola, about 80 degrees. How about Paradise with about 84? We take you to Valley neighborhood forecast, temperatures hovering around 90 degrees, give or take. I think to the south, a little bit more of that Delta breeze influence. That will keep those temperatures a little bit cooler there, but about 91 for Redding, about 86 for Lakehead, 87 Whiskeytown and Palisadro, a high of about 90. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. Temperatures in the mid-90s by Wednesday, but looks back into the low 90s by Thursday, Friday, and hovering again into those upper 80s to low 90s by the time we get into this upcoming weekend. So it looks like we do have some, really honestly, just some gorgeous weather. Again, it's mainly going to be the winds that we're going to kind of keep an eye on. Let's see if I can do this full screen. Can I? I thought I could. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, I know what happened. Let's try this. There it is. How you doing? All right. So that's going to wrap up your forecast here for this Monday. As I mentioned, I'm here in Central Texas doing a remote here live. That's just because I had some personal business I needed to attend to for family. So I'm staying with my sister, and then she let me kind of take over her game room here, right? And that's where I'm doing my show from live this morning. I'm going to check in real quickly with you all this morning to see if there's any other questions or comments or concerns. In the meantime, though, looks like we've got Sherry saying good Monday morning from Juniper Junction in Ayden. Oh, awesome. You know, it's kind of funny because my son's name is Ayden, and people ask, oh, did you name him after the town of Ayden? I'm like, no, of course not. But I did take a picture of him next to the Ayden sign many years ago. It was fun. I've driven through there several times as I headed towards a great park in Ayden, by the way. That's where we stopped before. I remember we had our dog, Nessie, and we stopped there, took her for a little run in the park. Beautiful park, a very nice park. Before we went up to, where was it? It was east of Cedarville. There are some hot springs, or just some springs in general out there that we went to. There's a resort, kind of a hotel there. We stayed, and it was a lot of fun. All right, so kind of a long tangent story there, but that's it here. Looks like we got more people kind of chiming in here. Amelia, again, I apologize looking way up like this, but this is the best I can do here in my remote here. Have a great visit. Thank you. Oh, well, of course, it was a very nice visit, but I'm going to be heading back home today, and things will be back to normal. I'll be back in my studio by tomorrow. We got Tracy Sackett, one of our regulars, hoping everything is okay. Be safe in your travels. Thank you. We've got Shelly from Weaverville. Good morning. Looks like it's cooling down a bit. Have a great day, and on to that coffee. Oh yeah, don't forget that coffee. have a great time in Texas. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I always love spending time with my family, my sister, and I got to tell you, yesterday was so awesome. I mean, just sitting, relaxing on the couch, watching TV, maybe chilling by the pool a little bit in the afternoon. So it was just a really nice visit, as we can really just kind of catch up, see what's going on. We don't get to see each other very often. I mean, we're halfway across the country from each other, so it's always nice when we can visit each other. Surprise Valley, Hot Springs. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it is the Hot Springs. Thank you, Tracy. I couldn't remember. It's one of my wife's favorite spots here. Shelly again saying having a great time in Texas. All right, yep, I am, but yeah, I gotta fly back today. Heading out back to the airport. Thank you for your fire coverage. Oh, yeah, family in Amarillo. So my first job, Tracy, was in a town called Wichita Falls, Texas, not too far from Amarillo. And I was the weekend meteorologist there. And I had actually had a friend who lived in Amarillo. I'd go visit him. It was always fun. So Amarillo, it's a cool spot. Of course, you got that Cadillac Ranch, where they've got the Cadillacs there. It's called Palo Duro Canyon in Amarillo. Have you been there, Shelly? That's a really cool spot. If you visit your family in Amarillo, have them take you there. It's kind of like a little mini Grand Canyon, if you will. And it's called Palo Duro Canyon. And they actually have their own version of kind of like Oklahoma, but it's for their area. And they do a live performance in the canyon. Spectacular. And a beautiful area. I love it. I'm going to see my mom in I always never knew how to say that. Lampasas, Texas. Good morning from Reading. Love your coverage on the weather too. All right, thank you, Ann. I appreciate that. So yeah, Shelly, check that out. Next time, if you're visiting family in Amarillo, have them take you to Palo Duro Canyon if you haven't been there already. Let's see. I think that's about it. Anybody else chiming in this morning? No. Oh, Cadillac Ranch is a fun site. Yeah, so you've probably been there. The question is, have you been to Palo Duro Canyon? Again, like I said, that's a really cool spot. I remember mountain biking years and years ago out there. So it's really cool. Ever been to the big Texan? No, I think that's when you're talking about for the state fair. No, I haven't. But my sister, they go to the state fair every year, and they always take that picture by the big Texan. So yeah, they've been out there, but I have not had the pleasure of heading out there. Maybe one of these years I will try to see if I can go to the state fair with them and make sure I plan to come on out here. Eat a 72-ounce steak and all the fixings in 1 hour, and it's free. Yes, I know of that place in Amarillo. I don't think I could do that. I'm sure the steak is good, but yeah, I don't think I want to try to put myself on that wall. I'd rather enjoy the steak than make myself sick. But yes, that's a fun thing that they do. I guess it's free, and they put your picture on the wall and all that good stuff. So that's kind of fun. All right. I think that's going to do it, folks. I got to wrap this up and get ready to kind of start packing up and all that good stuff. But again, be sure I've got all of. Be sure to watch the updates here throughout the day today, and I will do what I can to kind of keep you updated. If there's any new developments with the fires, I can at least do that via social media on Facebook. But in the meantime, today's kind of a bit of a travel day, so hopefully for the best that we can get you some of the information out there if anything should happen. But thank you all so much for watching this morning, and again, things are going to be a little choppy as I kind of get out of this live broadcast, but we will see you tomorrow morning right here in Coffee with Kruger, but from my studio in Redding, California, back home, back to the normal routine. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Until then, have a great day.